Yeah. Hey. All right. Hey. Yeah, I mean.
So we about to take off.
Hey. Please do remain calm. About to run against it and with a little bit of soul, no time.
Welcome to Please Remain Calm. I'm Ben Gonzalez.
And I am Daniel Gonzalez. Listen, folks, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We're back.
Holidays, and it always gets a little bit crazy around the holidays at the firehouse and at the MAC where Ben works and stuff.
Surge,
yeah, with the surge and all that stuff. It just it got super busy. Life got super busy for both of us. I think last year we took the holidays, took some time off during the holidays too, and came back.
This was what, 3 weeks? No, a month. I think we took off.
Is it a month
for this?
Yeah.
This time, yeah.
So. Sorry for the delay. You know, we need a break. We've got both have a lot of things going on in our lives too. We want to thank you all for sticking with us and for still listening to the show. We've still been getting plenty of views and downloads for the older episodes, and the podcast is still rolling even when we haven't been putting out an episode. So
yeah,
just right up front, thank you guys so much for enjoying the podcast, continuing to listen, telling your friends about it. I'm still getting guys at the hospitals, and some are spending a lot more time waiting at the hospitals these days. Coming up to me and saying, hey, are you the dude from, Please Remain Calm? I'm like, yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's still happening a lot. So thank you all so much for listening. Please, if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the like button on the episode, tell your friends about it. All that stuff helps us to continue to grow the podcast, and hopefully we can bring it to you for many more years to come.
Yeah, and here we are, episode 71 to start off 2022. This is going to be our third year.
Yeah, man.
Doing this show. We started in 2020, right when the pandy hit. You know what I'm saying? Cheers.
Bravo, bro.
Right, yeah. And we have a mixed bag of news.
Well, hold on. Before we get started, I need to say and want to say that all of the opinions expressed here on the Please Remain Calm podcast are our own. They do not reflect the opinions of the Los Angeles City Fire Department or the Los Angeles County Department of Health Services.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so just like you were saying, man, we got a mixed bag of stuff to talk about today.
Yeah. We're going to start off with something that you just had happen. This is last night?
Last night. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. That kind of leads into our main topic. I want to just touch real quick on like the surge and what's been going on the past couple of weeks too with work.
Yeah. Like you said, you've been waiting in hospitals a lot longer lately.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's the effect.
It is bananas. And listen, I don't want to talk about COVID anymore. We both talked about that.
Exactly, we've had 3 episodes, or actually more.
Yeah, we've had a couple of pandemic episodes. We've had a couple of like Firefighter for Freedom episodes, 3 of them. And so I feel like we've said, and you guys have our opinions on all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just seeing as how we haven't been here in a few weeks, just a little update on like what's going on out there in the field. I know a lot of you are out there too, and see it and feel it. But the department, at least my department, they put a lot of guys off leave without pay because of the vaccine mandate.
Right.
The Firefighter for Freedom guys and guys that just don't want to get the vaccine that have put in for medical and religious exemptions and stuff like that. So a lot of those are firefighters, and that straight firefighter position, that's where our BLS ambulances are staffed from. It's a firefighter position. It's an EMT. All of the firefighters in LA City are EMTs as well. So since that happened and we lost 100 plus guys to that leave without pay, it's affected staffing as far as like, and you have to understand that when somebody calls in sick or somebody doesn't show up to work, it's not like they just shut that rig down. You know what I mean? You can't just not have coverage in an area. We have to have constant staffing. We have to have medical coverage and fire coverage in every single district, fire service district. So when there are a bunch of vacancies, 100, 150, 200, 300 on some days over the holidays, they have to figure out how they're going to manage that. And a lot of it is just, if you have a task force here, you shut down the light force at that station, keep the engine open, take those 5 guys, put 2 on this engine over here, put 2 over, what I mean? And you start shipping people around and detailing around so that you have coverage across the city.
Right.
And it sucks for a guy, or gal that is, working your regular shift, coming to work like you're supposed to, all vaxxed up and everything, like you're, following the rules and policies, procedures of the fire department. And then you come to work on your own shift and it's like, hey, we're shutting down the engine. You're going to, Fire Station 46 in South Central for the day. And it's like, fuck, dude,
cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm putting in the work. I'm coming to work like I'm supposed to. I'm working the overtime days and the assign hires and recalls and all that stuff. And you're still on my own shift. I got to pack all my shit and go to South Central, get my ass kicked for the evening or, So that's been happening a lot. And it seems like there's a lot of 800 ambulances that are being closed down because of it, for the most part, so that you can keep the fire protection and still have, the medical coverage. And so, whereas we would normally be like just running ALS calls and occasionally we get a BLS call sprinkled in and stuff like that. Yeah. Our call volume is like not quite doubled, but pretty damn close, because we're running at least on the rescue, we're running all the ALS runs and the BLS runs.
You're like an 800 also.
Exactly.
The slack.
Or let's say 59's 2 district over has a ALS call and they're working up a cardiac arrest or something like that. And then a BLS call comes out there and there's no 800s. Well, they might dispatch us to 59's or 43's or somewhere out of our district, out of our battalion that we don't normally go, because that's just the way it is right now. And the same thing's happening with guys on the fire side. Normally like at our station, it's a task force. So we have a light force and an engine. The engine's pretty busy. The truck picks up the automatic alarms, elevators, stuff like that. And when they're on a run, the truck will get the, bone runs and stuff. And it's affecting those guys too, because the light force will be shut down for the day. So the engine's running all of those calls, runs, what I mean? So it's taxing, man. And then obviously whenever you're around the holidays, it's a lot more difficult to get, staffing covered for a number of reasons, man. People have vacations planned that they had, scheduled months out. People get sick, obviously, in the wintertime and stuff like that. And then on top of all of that, Omicron hits.
Exactly.
And for those of you that are, have been living under a rock, Omicron is just crazy contagious. And everybody's getting it, man. I mean, my whole family got it. The kids, mom and dad, parents, grandparents, everybody got it. And that's, Bernie, we've talked about in the past, or she was on the show, Bernie's a PA at Cedar Sinai. She said, everybody has it, dude. Everybody that comes in with any kind of sniffle, they're testing positive. Yeah. And the good thing about it is that at least it's not as severe.
Well, everybody's vaxxed.
Yeah. Well, people are. And that's the key, man. Yeah. Is like and if you look at like the stats that are out right now, hospitalizations are up, positive test results are up, but deaths are pretty much maintaining. And the hospitalizations are mostly the unvaxxed. Yeah. So I actually got into a conversation with the guy at the kitchen table this morning, who was saying, everyone's just in there chit chatting, and I went in to get some coffee as I was leaving the station. And he goes, yeah, man, they're talking about how everyone's getting it. And I go, yeah, your whole family just had it last week, man. And I'm obviously one of the most vocal guys about getting vaccinated and all that stuff, right? And he goes, well, I mean, yeah, if everyone gets it, so now, like, what's the department saying? What's the point? There's no point in you getting vaccinated. There's no point. You're going to get it anyway. And I was like, usually when I hear people talking like that, I just fucking let it go, because they're in their little circle and they do that. But, I go, wait, what are you saying? There's no point in the vaccine? Is that what you're talking about? And he goes, yeah, I mean, everyone's going to get it anyway. I go, yeah, man, but you got to understand, at this point, it's about not getting severe sickness. And I go, and if you look at it from the department's point of view, right, because that's what we were saying. Well, the department shouldn't be forcing these guys to leave their careers and shit, because everybody's going to get it anyway. You're still taking time off. You're positive. Yeah, you're not getting as sick, but you still need to be off for 10 days, right? And I go, yeah, but you got to look at it from the department's point of view. You got guys who were in the ICU for weeks, came out, had to recover, were sick for another few weeks after that. Guys who died, guys who have long COVID, who have, things that are extending well past when they tested negative again. Guys with pre-existing conditions that it's affecting, and they're off for a long period of time. So you as a department, especially if it's considered an IOD or an on-duty illness or injury, right? Yeah. From a business standpoint, a city and department standpoint, Would you rather have somebody vaccinated, get Omicron, have the sniffles for a couple days, be off for 10 days because that's what the CDC recommends, and then come back to work and you're good to go? Or do you pay for this person who needs to be in the ICU for a month and then in this care after a month, and for this care, and you're continuing to pay for their health care?
Who knows when they can come back to work?
Who knows when they come back to work? Who knows how affected they're going to be with the long COVID afterwards? All that stuff, right? The 4 of us got it in the house. The boys didn't even know they were sick. One day, Max said, I have real slight, my throat feels weird. It doesn't hurt, but it just feels weird. And Easy had a little bit of a runny nose one day. That's it. No fevers, no nothing. Fully vaxxed. I had a stuffy nose and a slight cough, but it was like a post nasal drip cough. 2 days, and I was better. And that's after working a 72-hour shift, 3 days in the front of the cabin in the dorm with my partner who tested positive. It's the reason that I went and tested. And then Bernie gets migraines, so it triggered some migraines like the first night she had it. So she was pretty bad the first night. After that, she was fine. So, stepping off of my soapbox here, guys, still, please get vaccinated, get boosted if you haven't already. Yes, it is true. You can transmit and you can get it. This Omicron variant is something that everybody's going to get. I think the CDC or FDA, head of the FDA, just said to Congress, like, everybody's going to get it. So expect it, but the vaccine keeps you from getting severely ill. It will keep you from taking this thing to the grave. It'll keep you from getting severely ill. It'll be a couple day light cold and you'll be past it. Hopefully, obviously it affects everybody different, but that's our experience, man. That's my experience with it.
Yeah. And we are still in a surge. So like you're saying, you're getting those extended ambulance times because there are so many runs, so many people going in. Usually during the winter, there's just more runs anyways. People are getting sick in general.
Oh yeah.
But the situation at the hospitals is you have all these patients that do need admission, that aren't vaxxed, and sure, there are some probably that are vaccinated that do.
Yeah.
But that on top of the regular admissions, there's no space anywhere.
Oh yeah.
So all these ERs are basically holding patients that are admitted at any given time. They'll have 10, 20, 30 patients who are actually admitted to the hospital but have no place to go. So when that happens, they just stay in the ER until a bed opens up.
Yeah.
Which means there's no beds to open up for people that are coming in on an ambulance, and the ambulance has to wait.
It's pretty bad right now, dude.
Pretty bad. Doesn't describe it, dude.
Yeah, everybody's closed. We're waiting a long time. And so, take care of yourselves. If you do get it, treat the symptoms. If you're vaxxed, it's not going to be that bad. You're going to treat the symptoms and take some Dayquil, NyQuil. That's all we took. And be done with it in a couple of days. If you're unvaxxed, you're going to be in a much worse spot. So that's our advice, and that's the last word we're going to say on COVID.
Yeah, because it's rough out there, man. Because the thing is, too, is that it's wiping out the nurses and the staff.
Oh, everybody's getting overworked, dude.
On top of that, there's too many patients and then nobody to watch them.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to close. Constantly, everyone wants to close for the exact same story. And it's like, what can we do?
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is when everyone closes, everyone's open because everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah. And then you wind up just sitting there. So take care of yourselves, please. Mask up. It's like I said, it's like layers in the winter. The more precautions you take, the better protected you're going to be. Mask up, keep your distance if you can, and get vaccinated so that if you get sick, you don't get that sick.
All right.
Yeah, man, I wanted to talk about, we haven't been here in a little bit.
Yeah, some stuff happened while we were gone.
Some stuff happened when we were gone.
We got around the first one there with the little surge.
And the trigger point that got me thinking about what we're about to talk about was an incident that we had last night, actually. And I was sitting because, we were going to record today, and we had a couple things we were tossing around talking about, but essentially we had a stabbing last night. Mm-hmm. All right. And now when you have a shooting, stabbing, any kind of violent assault like that, we don't just like respond and go knock on the door. Right.
Right.
It'll say on there, it'll give details because the dispatcher will pick up, talk to the caller, and it'll give details on our MDC, our mobile data computer, about what the call is and what's going on. So this particular call, it said it was a stabbing. And then as we were driving down, it was a couple districts over, we got a note that popped up and said, son stabbed both parents. Female patient is at the neighbor's house with the stab wound to the neck, and male patient is still inside of the house. Assailant is still on scene in a silver car in front of the address. So hold for PD. So we get there. And that's another issue too, man, is LAPD has their own issues with the mandate and COVID and all that stuff, right? So just as we're understaffed, they're understaffed as well. And so the response times to different things are taking a little bit longer. So we actually responded, got there, but we have to hold, a block out.
Right.
And so from where we were, actually, we could see the address and could actually see silver car in front. Couldn't really see if there was anybody in there. So we let them know, hey, we're holding a block out, waiting for PD. PD finally pulls up, 5 minutes later or so.
Okay.
And that car takes off, like right as they're coming, takes off. The cops go up to the address, go into the house, clear the scene, and then we can go in, right? So it was us, 2 patients, so it was 2 rescues, and then the light force down there is assessment also. And so when we first came walking up, they're coming out of the neighbor's house with the mom. And the medic goes, hey, the truck is in there. Medic from the truck is in with the dad. If you guys can handle that, send him out because we need help with her, getting her to trauma center. So I'm like, no problem. So we walk in, and the medic on the truck was calling 814, which just basically means we're determining that they're deceased in the field. And he goes, hey man, you guys got this? I'm going to go help the rescue. I go, yeah, no problem. Pick up your stuff. And they took off, and me and my partner stayed in there to handle the paperwork and everything with LAPD with the 814, the dead body there. So while doing that, obviously we look over the patient. We got to see what the wounds are and stuff like that. I have to document all that stuff on my paperwork, right?
Right.
There's specific things you have to do with 814. You have to check and make sure they have no pupillary response. You have to, auscultate over the apex of the heart to make sure they don't have a heartbeat. You got to check for, any kind of painful reaction to painful stimuli and stuff like that, right? Respirations. So it's a couple minute deal going through an 814. And then I got to fill out all the paperwork because it's going to go to court. There's obviously going to be a murder trial and stuff like that. So all this stuff has to be pristine and really done well. So I'm standing in there. My partner did the 814 stuff, packed up all our stuff and left. And it was me and a cop in there. And he's kind of taking information. Obviously on a scene like that, you don't want to touch anything. You don't want to do anything. But in that, we're looking at the body and, counting stab wounds and stuff like that because I have to document all this stuff. And this guy, worst stabbing I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. In 20 years as a medic, it is hands down the worst stabbing. Usually you'll get a guy, you'll get 2 or 3.
There's a range of stabbings.
Two or three shanks, you know what I mean? Or gangsters will come up, or you'll get them in the jail sometimes with the shank, and they'll come, pop, 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 and they'll get 3 or 4 in the same little region.
Same spots, yeah. This
guy had 10 around his head and neck and armpit, and he had some on his arms. You could tell he was trying to block himself and stuff like that. And so I was standing there, on the counter in the kitchen. There he is laying there. And it was just kind of tripping me out. Like, not so much the sight of death. Obviously, I've seen more dead people and killed in different horrific ways than I'd like to admit. It was the thought that, wow, man, almost like I felt the energy in there. Like holy shit. I'm just standing here, and literally 5 minutes ago, like the most violent act that you can do to anyone as a human being.
Oh yeah.
To your, like, actively up front, close stabbing and murdering your parent. Just fucking happened right here. Right. And I'm a firm believer. We've talked about it a bunch, man, about energies and being in tune with different things and positivity and negativity and all that stuff. Right. And I almost felt like I could feel the negativity and the anger and the shittiness in that room at that time. Right. And just trying to imagine and picture how exactly this could have happened, Yeah. And thinking about, him blocking himself and the rage and the fear he must have had, and the thought of like, fuck, this is my son, he's fucking killing me,
And there he is now. He's still there.
And your mom is screaming, and who knows if he saw him turn on his mom and stab her before he went in. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I'm typing this stuff out and I'm thinking about that stuff, man. And I caught myself and I thought, fucking stop. Yeah. Stop thinking about that shit. Right? Because that to me, and I developed this way of thinking when I was in South Central and I was kind of stuck down there because we had staffing issues years ago, a decade ago, and blacking out and browning out stations and stuff like that. And so you couldn't transfer out of a place. And so I've talked about it before when I had issues with alcoholism and stuff like that, and just working like crazy at 57s and seeing all the horrific shit. Yeah. When I got help with that, I didn't realize how like undercover depressed I was. Right. Just working there. Yeah. It wasn't until like I started talking to therapists about it and stuff like that, that I realized that like all these little tiny things affected the way I was feeling in my psyche.
And you don't really get prepared for that so much when you start training for the job or doing the job. It's just the aspect that like comes to you is like, you sit down with dead people and people who just died. And that's kind of weird. And you kind of do that numerous times. And there's just like, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, it's odd. It's a weird feeling because sometimes they were already dead when you got there. Sometimes you saw this guy die. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, this was a person and now it's a body. Yeah. And it feels weird.
It's almost like when you first get into it, it's fucking cool. You know, like it's something you want to talk about with the guys back at the station or with like your EMT buddies that are still working at McCormick, you know, and you got hired and they're in the process and shit. Right. You're like, dude, you're not gonna believe what the fuck we just had, blah, blah, blah. And it's this like cool thing to begin with. Yeah. It's interesting how that changes over the years, you know, and I think having kids has a lot to do with, I think just maturing in general has a lot to do with it. I think seeing enough of it and realizing like the stupidity of it and shit like that, of a lot of the like traumatic things that happen to people are all of those things.
The stupidity is crazy. And just how cheap life is. And like, people just don't realize it.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Think about it.
And so I caught myself, I'm typing, dude. I'm typing a report. I'm clicking boxes and stuff. But while I'm doing that, I'm running this scenario through my head, you know, and I stopped and I went, fucking stop doing that. Stop doing that. This is fill out the paperwork, man. And let's fucking go. Stop dwelling on this. And so I wanted to talk about that today, man. I wanted to talk about the kind of invisible stressors that weigh on your heart a little bit. And there's been a few things that have happened in the past month or so that I think are good examples of how firefighters, paramedic, police officers are exposed to loss a lot. And the different ways that that loss can sit with you. And like, just like, I guess I could just talk about like how I have dealt with it over the years. Right. The first one I wanted to talk about, and I don't have the date that it happened, but it was all over the news. I'm pretty sure it was national news. There was a guy in a Burlington coat factory store in North Hollywood 2 weeks ago.
I think so, yeah.
So they released the security footage of this, right? And I'm going to talk about PD incidents and a couple of fire incidents. And so this incident, if you hadn't heard about it, this guy was, obviously had some kind of psych issues, was probably had some kind of drug issues as well. But there's security video of him walking in this Burlington coat factory and acting bizarrely, acting like he's going to throw his bicycle over the ledge at people down on the first floor, kind of harassing people getting on the escalator and stuff. And then he finally grabs somebody and shoves them down at the bottom of the escalator, takes his pants off, and he's walking through the store with a bike lock on a chain. Right. Walks up to a lady and just clocks her with it. Drags her into a side aisle, and he's beating her with this bike lock. Right? This guy had been causing commotion, stuff like that. So people had called 911, obviously. And this mother and daughter, 14-year-old girl, were in a changing room when all this commotion was happening. Right. And this guy was beating this woman just outside of the changing rooms. LAPD gets called, this guy's beating people up, all this stuff. And somewhere in that, somebody who had called said, I think he has a gun. And the reports were that he had a gun. Officers show up and they have the body cam footage. The one officer that actually fired is getting his rifle out, and they're, making their way to clear the store. And the officer with the rifle is telling guys, hey, let me get in front with the rifle. Let me lead with the rifle, right? Extremely brave, man. Especially if you're thinking that there's an active shooter in this building and stuff like that, to go through training and extreme amount of bravery to be able to take that lead position. Okay. Also a very dangerous position for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, the first one that's going to be exposed to a guy who you think has a gun, right? It's causing commotion and stuff like that. But you're also going to be the one that has to make that split second decision on whether or not you fire, and potentially kill somebody and take a life or not. And whether it's a bad guy or a good guy, dude, trust me, the guys that I've talked to that have pulled a trigger and actually shot somebody, that shit sits with you. Sure. Whether it's military or PD, stuff
especially
like that.
This situation. On that video, though, it looks like the other cops are trying to stop him, like trying to tell him, wait. From what I remember watching on that body cam video, because that guy was saying, like, let me take the lead. I've got the rifle. He's going for it. But there were already like 4 cops there on scene who were drawn on the dude.
Yeah, but they were still advancing. No. It wasn't until they turned the corner that they actually saw him. Yeah, because he takes lead, and then you could see the chick coming out of the, or actually like laying on the ground, bloody and stuff like that. And he yells, there's blood, we got blood. And when they turn the corner, he's definitely in the front, and you see the guy there, and he fires. The guy goes to like take off into the next aisle, and he fires on him 3 shots. Yeah,
because that was the controversy with the video, was you didn't know if the other cops saw that the guy didn't have a gun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so, he fires 3 shots. One of those bullets ricochets off the ground, goes through the wall into the change room, and hits this poor 14-year-old girl in the head, kills her. And obviously the outrage is, or the headline is LAPD, shoots and kills a 14-year-old girl after shooting at an unarmed man or whatever.
Right.
And I thought about that a lot, dude, when it happened, and I was looking at it, and, obviously I'm pretty liberal. And so a lot of my media bubble, that I dwell in, a lot of that stuff is a lot more left-leaning, and a lot of the headlines were just like that. Hey, LAPD shoots an unarmed, accidentally shoots this girl, and blah, blah, blah. And until like the video comes out and stuff like that, there's like this real strong like animosity toward, I mean, obviously it is that way right now, just in general, this like animosity toward police, but then something like this happens. And man, obviously it's a tragic event, man. That poor girl and that mom, I mean, you can hear her in the video, screaming in agony at seeing her daughter get killed. And my heart goes out to that entire family. But at the same time, my heart kind of went out to the cop too, man. I've said it before like 100 times, dude. It's a super dangerous job, and there's so many variables and so many unknowns when you get on scene to something where somebody's fucking crazy like that, right? And obviously, if you're being told, "Hey, the guy's got a gun," this guy's got a gun, you're on edge and you're expecting to find a guy with a gun. And I think a newspaper article that I had read even stated that this guy was like active in like trying to change the way the public like viewed the PD department. Like he was really into like trying to be an example for other cops and stuff like that. And I guess they had done some active shooter training. And so that was what the article was talking about, that this guy was following all of his active shooter training. And I go, yeah, that's great, except that this wasn't an active shooter incident, So to me, that was like one kind of loss. Like it's not something that we get in the fire service or, EMS or anything like that. But like, to be involved in an incident, even just to be involved, like even the other officers there, to be involved in an incident where something tragic like that happens. Yeah. Obviously, it's an accident, man. Yeah. The guy didn't go in there wanting to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? He wants to neutralize this guy who's hurting other people and help. That's the majority of the cops that I know are those people. They are there to help. They want to help. Right. So like, even being in that group, that initial group of cops going in to neutralize this guy, having something tragic like that happen, man, even if you weren't directly involved, like one of the other officers and stuff there, the simple act that this tragedy happened sits on you, man.
Yeah, and you were there. That's what we were talking about, man.
you feel it. And it's really hard to put into words because it's not the death that bothers you. It's just like the old man in the living room, right? Mm-hmm. We see death all the time. We see people being bad to each other all the time. It's like the suddenness and unexpectedness of somebody innocent going.
Yes.
And it's almost like you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
This is what I mean, man. And nobody talks to you about it or tells you about it. We actually talked about this in the very first episode we did. But yeah.
Yeah.
But it's real because there's that whole thing too, is like you also wind up seeing people find out that their dad is dead.
It's the worst part of my job, dude.
Yes. And you know, and they don't know. And then it's like, oh shit, they're about to find out right now.
Sorrow.
Yeah.
Sorrow.
Or when it's just real, when it hits them that you're doing CPR on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when these calls come in, they come in as, you know, someone's asleep. And and the family would be like, hey, we can't wake him up. He's not waking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they think he's asleep.
Or altered
they don't
or
think
unconscious.
He's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they see you drag him off the couch, strip him, and, you know, get to work.
The realization.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You know what I mean? And you're there and you just suck it up because you have to keep working. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. It's very strange, man. Something like that. And another example would be this fire that they just had in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago. They've had a couple of really bad fatality fires in New York over the past couple of weeks, but this one in particular is Bronx fire. Started in a low level apartment, and it wound up spreading through multiple floors of this building. I think it was 19 people died, 9 children,
9 kids. Smoke inhalation, man.
Yeah,
it's real.
I mean, most of the time, that's what gets you. It's not the fire that burns you up; it's the inability to breathe and the smoke inhalation. But something like that too, you know, fatality fires, you know, I can't even tell you how many fatality fires I've been to, but you know, I remember one in particular that always stuck with me. This lady, kind of a middle of the night deal, smoke showing when we pulled up, you know, run up to the house, cut the security door open, kick the front door open. My partner's laying out hose and stuff like that. We get it. We make our way in. You could, you know, the delineation of the smoke and clear area on the bottom. You could see clear as day at the bottom, crawling through, and found this lady dead in her bedroom. But like her gas had been shut off. Winter time. And I don't know, financial-ish problems or whatever, the gas company had come and they had this thing on her meter that shut her gas off. So she had like a charcoal grill just smoldering in her room for heat because it was freaking cold, right? I mean, it's terrible for 100 different reasons. I mean, carbon monoxide probably killed her before the fire got going, but you know, that sort of thing. It wasn't quite the death. I've found fire victims. I've pulled people out and worked them up on the front lawn and stuff like that, right? But it was the thought of, in this one in particular, because I found the lady, it was the thought of like, God, how terrible to be elder, to not have the means to be able to get the basic needs for yourself. Yeah. To accept that and think you found at least a way to stay warm for the night, and then to, however she lost her life, to lose your life in that way. You know, obviously it's not going to be, you know, suffocation, you know, carbon monoxide poisoning, burning, you know, smoke inhalation. Those are terrible ways to go. Obviously I don't know for sure, but I would imagine. So it was that feeling. It was almost like a feeling of like it wasn't the death. It was like the like heartbreak for this woman, this human, you know what I mean? That looked like, in all the pictures she had around her house and stuff like that, was a sweet old lady and had family and grandkids and stuff like that. Yeah. And I just felt bad for her, you know what I mean? Just like in general. And that's kind of like what happened to me when I was working down there. Like I would go into a home for a medical call and there'd be like a little kid running around in like a shitty diaper, but like caked on shitty diaper. And the kid's fucking crying and has snot on her nose and the house is filthy. And I'm just like, remember thinking like, God, this poor kid, has to grow up like this. Like I can't imagine my child. Like I want everything to be clean. I want to give them the best. I want them to have fun and be happy all the time.
Right.
So that weighed on me, you know what I mean? And it seemed like those were the things that really weighed on me. And then you throw sudden death or sorrow into the mix.
Yeah. And it's every day, every shift, you know what I mean? There's always something.
It's every shift. And there's some shifts where it just feels like God is just like beating you down or trying to teach you a lesson, you know? Yeah. Yesterday kind of felt like one of those, we had a couple of, like really bad, meth ODs that were losing their mind. I had a guy headbutt me in the chest, secured to the gurney, trying to, get him off the gurney and onto the hospital. He headbutted me in the chest. I had a guy straight up punch me in the chest that we picked up 2 nights ago. And then we had the stabbing, after that. And it just seemed like on top of the stress of trying not to get sick, actually being sick, the call volume increase, the types of calls were going on, and then on top of that, the death factor, seeing all that stuff. It's heavy right now, dude. You know what I mean? Everything feels heavy.
Yeah.
And so what was the other incident that I wanted to talk about? And then so then we had another fatality fire, LA County firefighter in Palos Verdes down here in Southern California died at a house fire. Mm-hmm. I don't know the details of what happened. I know that they rescued the family. They were able to get the family out of the house alive. And obviously something happened. This guy, I'm not sure if he fell through the roof or got trapped somewhere, but wound up succumbing to his injuries. And, young father, they had 2 kids, right around, 8, 10 year of age, it looked like, married.
Yeah. So the guy was a Vernon guy.
Oh, really?
Vernon Fire, 19 years, and then they switched to county, and then he's a county guy.
And that happens too, other smaller departments will get swallowed up by county and you get shipped around to different places. Happened to our uncle. Mm-hmm. But something like that happens, and then you think about that. Like, I didn't know him, obviously, Palos Verdes in our area. But I know people that knew him. I've been to Palos Verdes plenty of times, Right. I've been to countless house fires, where shit could have gone south and could have gotten squirrely, but didn't, thank God. And that weighs on you differently too, because and somebody posted a post, I think it was about the Bronx fire, but it rings true. And I've posted things in the past about it. I can picture that guy's morning, you know what I mean? And I do that. Like, I think about it, like that was an early morning fire, right?
Yeah.
He probably, woke up in the morning, 5 a.m., depending on where he lives, 4:30 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Brush his teeth, showered up, maybe had a cup of coffee at home. You go in, you kiss the wife, tell her you love her. She's probably half asleep, gives you a little half peck on your cheek because you've been doing this for 20 years or whatever, right?
Yeah. You
go and whisper to your kids, I love you or whatever, or stand at the door and give them a little I love you. Because it's 4 a.m. They're asleep. They don't need to wake up they probably don't wake up till 7 or so. And then you go to work, man. You show up, you put your shit on the rig, you drink some coffee, read the paper, bullshit with the guys.
Yep.
And, you might catch a run, go run that call, and you go through your day. You don't you're not thinking about the dangers that could be around the corner.
Right.
An hour later, you're dead. Everybody who knows you, life has changed forever because you passed. Just another type of stressor that death puts on us, man. It's a whole nother, I talked about imagining the dad getting stabbed and like putting myself in his shoes and going through that, the poor old lady. I guess that's why, I'm too empathetic, you know what I mean? But I think all of us are.
Even if you're not, though, it just happens anyway.
Yeah, you have no control.
You're empathetic. You're just there.
Exactly.
And because you're there, like you said, the energy in the room, the energy of what just happened, it hits you a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not even in the room, but like at Mac, you get all these cases because they're intense, transfers, life or death, and they'll tell you this is a young father. They'll tell you the backstory. Please save this guy's life. You're like, oh shit, I hope we can. You know what I mean? And you don't know. And sometimes even if you get somebody accepted, they just don't make it. It just doesn't happen. The helicopter gets there and they can't take them. It's too late. You know what I mean? It doesn't always work. And there's nothing you can do about it. And you weren't even there. But you still eat it. You know what I mean? And you just like, okay.
And that's kind of something that I've had to learn to like tell myself, because just like you said before, sorrow is fucking crazy, right? Sorrow is like a crazy ass emotion to watch, right? And I used to like sit there and like think about it and dwell on it and stuff like that, and think about all that stuff, putting myself in their shoes and stuff like that. And I had to think, I have to like force myself to think that, which is why I did it last night. Stop. Fucking stop. Stop. Sometimes that's just life, man. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. And no matter what you did and no matter how many medications I gave and stuff like that, there's nothing I can do. This person's going to die. It sucks every single time I have to tell myself that, especially when it's a kid, because that sits with you more than all these situations that I've talked about. Kids, drownings, kids hit by cars, kids that die.
Kids sudden death.
Dude. It's typically a traumatic thing that happens, the shootings and stuff like that. Those stick with you, man. And you have to recognize when it's affecting you, and you have to take steps to mitigate that, man. You cannot let those feelings and those things dwell, because they don't go away unless you actively do something to mitigate that. And whether it's talking to a therapist or talking to somebody, or exercise or some kind of other outlet, or like, actively recognizing it and trying to, think good thoughts and trying to just change the way you think about it and stuff like that. Without doing those things, that stuff just dwells, man. And it builds and it builds. And that's why we have such a problem with, suicides in the fire service and in the police department as well. Drinking, divorces. It's something that can really grab a hold of you, sink its claws into you, and not let go if you allow it to.
Like you said, I mean, not to get preachy about it here, but actively acknowledging it. That I don't want to be a participant in this. So, which is what you did, saying, hey, I got to stop dwelling on this, back to work. It doesn't mean just like bottle it up, but you make the decision on if you are going to participate in those thoughts and if you're going to put that out there or not. And you can actively change what you're putting out. And you can say that, in all honesty, man, that fits for like a lot of shit in life. Like you, first of all, man, something that I've learned through everything I've been through in my life, man, is you are your thoughts. You are, and you become your thoughts, man. Where your mindset is, anytime I've been a negative person, anytime I've been doing shit I'm not supposed to, all that stuff, my life is in fucking shambles. I got a tattoo across my chest right here. I control my destiny. It's true. I think we all recognize and see when we are doing stuff that is hurting us, emotionally, physically, whatever. And, you have a decision to make, whether to change something to make the situation better or deal with it and dwell in it and deal with it in some other way. Alcohol, fucking arguments, drugs, whatever the case may be. And all of it's hard though, because even acknowledging that like you're setting up negative shit for yourself with your own thoughts is hard. You know what I mean? But and it sucks because I think it's something that comes, just like I said before, man, that comes with time. And comes with the evolution and comes with, just you growing as a person. And this is something that I struggle with the boys, right? With Max and Easy is I do want to give them
I do want them to benefit from my mistakes as well as my wins, you know, throughout my life. I want them to know about the shit that I did that was bad.
Right.
And why I think it was bad in the end, why I thought it was good to begin with. And give them that information and just let them be. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. But yeah, I heard that's what I was going to say. I want to teach them that and tell them these things, right? But I also realize that the only reason that I know and that I have this information to give you is because I went through it.
Right.
And experienced the emotion, experienced the pain, stuff like that. And I know this is a better way than this way.
Yeah.
Without going through it and experiencing those things, you're just listening to some other dude explain to you why this is better than this.
Right.
And you just fucking hope that they run with that and go with it. But at the same time, like, it's like, I would probably know these things if I read them in a book or heard them in a class or a seminar somewhere, but I wouldn't fucking feel them in my soul. You know what I mean? The things that I'm telling them. Like,
but on top of that, though, there's like competition for their attention all the time. So just the same way we were saying, there's nobody really like talks to you about this part of the job, or like prepares you for it. Nobody really prepares you for it in life either.
Yeah.
And everybody's just trying to market themselves to distract you from it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything from when you're a kid to like through like our age is pretty much like get you to not think about your actual problems or shit that you don't want to think about.
And to me, that's fucking real growth. Yeah. Like pausing and realizing that like all the shit that is marketed to us from the time we open our eyes in the morning until the time we fucking go to sleep at night is it ain't the shit that's going to make you happy. You know, it's not the shit that's going to make you feel peace.
Yeah. Those counting on you not having that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look for it more.
Turmoil. Yeah. I mean, it's, you just look at our media right now. It's companies and just things and the machine that drives all of us. It thrives on chaos and people being upset and worked up about this and arguing about that and this side against that side. It's designed that way, man. It's by design. I think marketing is like the worst thing that ever happened to the human race. Yeah. You know, because it has you going through your life on this hamster wheel, trying to get shit that really ain't what we as human beings need to feel good and loved and fulfilled and shit like that, right?
Right.
I think growth, and that's just the frustrating part. I've got these beautiful little boys who have love in their heart and who are good and who are pure and just haven't been turned by the world and society and negative people and shit like that. And I feel like me and Bernie like feed that to them. Hey, it's better to be good. It's better to be happy.
Right.
It's you know, exercise, boys. You're going to be happier if you exercise. You shouldn't, you know, they don't drink sodas and shit, you know, because fucking I feel better when I drink water. It's water's, you know what I mean? Right. I try to give them all that. And at the same time, realize that they have to experience life. They have to experience some loss. They have to experience heartbreak. You know, they have to experience these things to be the full and complete person that I feel like I am.
And experience them and deal with them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't go through it and bury it.
Exactly. Yeah. Or make a mistake, make a wrong turn, realize you're on the wrong road, fucking stop, turn around. You know what I mean? Those types of things. Like, for people that know me, I'm a open book, man. I'm super honest about my past. I talk freely about it with anybody that wants to know about me or what's happened to me in the past and shit. Like, I have no like embarrassment about my life or anything that I've done, really. Right. I have regret, but anything that I've done bad, man, I've grown from and I've become a better person because of it. I'm only that way. Like when I make a mistake, right, at work, I fuck something up, something gets all fucked up. I left one morning on a recall. The recall was on. My relief was there. I had already gone off family emergency because I had something with the boys. I forget, Easy was sick or whatever the hell it was. And I left. But you're not supposed to leave when it's recall. You're supposed to stay there even if you're done there. You're supposed to stay there until they release you, right? So the captain called me, and I was already on the phone with some meeting that I had, and missed his call, and then I forgot that he had called. And so later I realized, oh shit, I got a voicemail, and it was him like, hey man, what are you doing? You need to come back here. You weren't supposed to leave, blah, 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 blah. Next day I come in, I walk right in the front office. Hey, it's my bad, 100%. You know, I should have came in and told you that I was shutting the rig down to leave. I didn't realize that I had to stay. I thought it was already off FEs. You know, 100% my bad. It won't happen again. Cool. And everybody, all my captains know that that's the type of person I am. Take full responsibility for shit. What's the fucking worst? What are you going to spank me? You know, are you going to take your belt off and spank? You're not my dad. You know, they're lumps. You take your fuck up. Okay. Hey, I fucked up. I took my lumps and I learned my lesson, and it's not going to happen again. I am only that way because literally, dude, if you are in like the dumps of your life, like the fucking armpit taint of your life, realize it. You know, I talked about it on our drug abuse, substance abuse episode. You know, fucking months behind on my mortgage, all my bills are fucking, wife considering leaving me, all this shit. I was in the worst spot of my entire life. And with the help of family and people that love me and stuff like that, brought myself back up out of it. When you do that as a human being, man, nothing seems that important or that crazy or that gnarly that you can't, pull yourself out of it or turn around or admit your mistake and just get those negative feelings out of your heart, out of your body, you know? And so I don't want to rob my kids of that either. I want them to make mistakes, sure, but I want them to feel like when they realize they fucked up, the first person they want to call is me. I tell them all the time, especially when you fuck up. I promise you, there's nothing you're going to fuck up that I haven't already tried and probably fucked up myself. And there's nobody on the planet Earth that wants to help you succeed more than your mom and your dad, dude. So fucking call me. I'm not going to make you feel bad. I'm not going to talk shit to you about whatever. We'll talk about it, but life is life. We make mistakes. The key is how you react to them, how you pull yourself up, and dust yourself off and get after it again.
Yeah. So in this situation where we're talking to people on the job going through this kind of thing and experiencing death over and over and over, what we're trying to say is don't dwell in it, but also don't ignore it. You know what I mean? It's a real thing that you go through. It is going to have an effect on you. You do have to do something to mitigate that and deal with that. But you also don't have to participate in, oh shit, over and over.
I would highly recommend therapy, man. Even if you don't feel like you need it, even if it's a once a month thing or once a quarter thing, to just go and chat and talk and get stuff off your chest. Because there are things that you don't want to talk about with your wife.
Yeah.
You don't want your kids to hear. I don't want the boys to hear about the stabbing I had last night.
Right.
I talk about those things with Bernie because she's in the field and, and I can bounce stuff off her. But there's some things, some wives that just can't handle it. They're not exposed to that sort of thing. And so
even if they could, you don't even always want to lay everything on somebody like that.
Yeah, it's
heavy stuff.
It's easy to keep it all inside. And all I'm saying is that for generations, manly men of the fire department have done that. And I think we're finally at a place where the department itself recognizes it's not a healthy thing.
Right.
They have fire department psychologists, and they actually have a whole wellness section where they're developing different ways to look after firefighter and paramedics' well-being. And just, my own personal experience from going through it in life, dude, it's extremely helpful to talk about these sort of things and get them off your chest. And if you weren't raised with coping mechanisms to deal with this sort of stuff, that's where you're going to learn about coping mechanisms. That's where you're going to learn and get advice on how to deal with this stuff, how to keep it from affecting your relationships with your kids, your wife, your family, or whatnot. And in turn, that's going to help you have a longer and healthier career.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it, man. Loss is a part of this job. It happens in many different ways. It even happens and you feel it when it doesn't happen to you, or you're not in the immediate vicinity. I felt that guy dying in Palos Verdes. I felt it. We had this police officer 2 nights ago off duty that was shot and killed in South Central, Fuck, I felt that, man. I know and deal with and work with enough cops where like, I know their fucking job is dangerous as fuck. Way more dangerous than my job. Way more unpredictable. I felt it. I felt the old man laying on the ground dead. I was thinking about like, God, what is this guy? Beautiful, big, huge, beautiful home. What has this guy been through in his life? And this is how it ends. Your own son. Fuck, man. I felt that. The girl in the Burlington. Yeah. Thinking about taking my son's shopping, back to school shopping, and just you're in this room and boom, just like that. There's no I'm sorry, no goodbye, nothing. You're just gone. I felt that.
Every day we have that. It's just like the worst of the worst because you get like the craziest cases and they tell you the story. It's like, man, that sucks, dude. And you will look at life differently. But yeah, just don't ignore this. Don't try to bottle it up. But yeah, you can make a choice on how you deal with it. And we're just saying that there's ways to deal with it constructively. Yeah. Danny, it's a good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
Where could they find you?
Follow me at Danny Gonzo34 on Instagram and Twitter.
You can follow me at Ben9Humor, Ben number 9 Humor, like benign tumor, on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow this show at PRC Pod on Instagram and Twitter, or at PRC Podcast on TikTok. Email us, contactprcpod@gmail.com. We have merchandise still, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you guys for listening. Stick with us. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Hey. Yeah, I mean.
So we about to take off.
Hey. Please do remain calm. About to run against it and with a little bit of soul, no times.